This is the history of the Ernest M. and Mabel P. Skinner family. Here's the story of Nephi Aaron Skinner. Chapter 9, pages 46 through 47. Memories of Nephi by family member Clausen. Clausen, son. Excerpts from a recorded interview from Clausen Nephi by his son Earl in 1975. Earl: what experiences or relationship did you have with your father when you were growing up and going to grade school? Clausen: I helped him all I could with the farm work. I used to want to go with him to town every time he went. I hung on the back of the buggy one time until he got over to the creek, and then we went so fast that when we hit a rock, I went down into the water, got wet, got up, and ran home crying and fussing. He went on to town and left me to take care of whatever wetness there was. Earl: going to town meant Montpelier? Clausen: yes, that meant going to Montpelier. Earl: which would take how long in those days? Clausen: it took a good day for a round trip. It took about 3 hours to get there, and then you wouldn't be able to loaf much. Father was quite a visitor. He talked to a lot of people, and he was aware of the situations that were going on. He used to talk to the doctors, like Dr. Pointer, the attorneys, and the owners of the businesses, like Brennan and Davis. He was very conversant with them. And they asked him a lot of questions about different things. They wanted to know how the crops were, how things were doing, and what was going on out in the valley because their business depended on that. He also stopped and talked to many people on the street. Some of them I knew, some of them I didn't. Earl: I remember one Saturday afternoon, Les, Grandpa, and I went to town, and when it was time to go home and milk, Grandpa was standing in front of the bank talking to somebody and didn't want to go home. He didn't like to milk anyway. So we left him standing there in front of the bank talking, and we went home to milk. When we came back to town that night, he was still standing in front of the bank talking to somebody. Clausen: I started to milk the minute I can get a hold of a tit. Earl: well, surely not at 4 or 5. Clausen: yeah, I think I did. My dad let me milk if I wanted to any time. Earl: I'm sure he did. He didn't like to milk. I milked with him several summers. We used to try to out-jockey one another to force the other to milk the 2 little Guernsey, which it's so small you can only get about 2 fingers around them.